Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of Change Talk. I am your host, Tiffany Jenkins, and Change Talk is a weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about anything that happens to be on my mind at the moment related to self-care, leadership, behavioral health, all those great kinds of things. We try to come on every Thursday evening between 9 and 9:30 and just drop a couple of nuggets that you can take with you throughout your week. This week I am very excited to have two special guests with me to talk about a cause that is very close to my heart. Before we dig into that, I'm going to ask that as we're talking, hey, how are you? I'm going to ask that as we're going through everything today, if you have any questions, any comments, need any information, do what we always do, drop them in the chat, and I will be sure to bring you into the conversation so that you can get a response in real time. If you happen to be watching the replay, that's fine too. I want you to participate just as if you were here with us live. Drop a hashtag replay so that we know that you saw us on the replay, but also feel free to engage with us, and I will be absolutely sure that I get any responses to you, answer any questions you might have. So enough about that. I want you to make sure that you share this. This is good information about a great cause, and I really, really, really want to reach as many folks with this information as humanly possible. So please, please, please feel free to like and share. If you're not already on our YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified anytime a new video drops and we go live. So that's enough about me. I'm going to bring up Joni and Rebecca, two very good friends of mine who are the co-founders of a wonderful charity called Distributing Dignity. And March for Distributing Dignity is March PAD-ness. Yes, March PAD-ness. You have heard about March Madness, but March Madness has nothing on this. Can you guys just start by just kind of introducing yourselves? First, tell us what March PAD-ness is all about, what Distributing Dignity is all about, all that great stuff.
Great. I'm Joni.
I'm Rebecca.
And so Distributing Dignity is a 501c3 nonprofit, and we provide new bras, feminine hygiene products, so that's pads, tampons, liners, to women in need. We do that by partnering with organizations that help women who are in and aging out of foster care, who are battling homelessness, who might be battling a life-altering illness. We also help those impacted by domestic violence, and we also work with those who have been displaced by disaster. March PAD-ness is actually my favorite campaign because I love a good pun and I love a good theme.
Yes, she loves a good pun. She absolutely does love a good pun.
I should have been a dad because I'm like the queen of the dad jokes.
Yes.
So I don't know how that happened, but here we are. So March PAD-ness, we collect for the entire month of March. We collect pads. It is the number one requested item of whether it be pads or tampons. Pads are what we're getting probably a request for like 2 or 3 to 1. Mm-hmm. So it's super important for us this month to collect as many unopened packages of pads as we can to restock our shelves so that we can start to get them out to the teens and the women that we serve. And in particular, we are on Saturday having a drive-through donation event at the Cherry Hill Public Library. And that's from 12 to 2 p.m. And you can come on over, honk your horn and wave at us and chuck us a pack of pads. Just make sure they're unopened package of pads. And we will make sure that your pads get to someone in need. So we hope to see you both for the donation and just so that we have somebody to say hello to. Oh, and we're asking everybody just to be safe and wear a mask. So
yes, be safe, be safe, be safe. That is the name of the game.
That's
so
right.
I first learned about you guys. So Kim, go to the if you look on the Facebook page, this flyer is in its entirety. Getting tongue-tied, and all the information about the drive-through is in that flyer. And I will repost it after today's show. So it is going to be this Saturday, right? Give me the time again.
It's from 12 to 2. So
Okay.
noon to 2 p.m.
Okay. And again, that information is going to be in the fly. It is in the flyer that is on the Facebook page for Awakening Change. So you can find it there. As soon as we're done here, I'll make sure that I upload that image in its entirety. Again, I just kind of took this little snippet out as our background. But that information will definitely be there. If you guys don't think you're going to be able to get there, you can always use me as a point of contact. We can coordinate pickup or whatever. But what I love about what you guys do, first, I found out about you guys a couple of years ago reading an article on, what was it, Medium, I think it was.
Huffington Post, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
HuffPost. Yes, it was
Yeah.
a HuffPost article about how homeless women in particular are impacted, and how, like, this is like one of the things that nobody thinks to donate to shelters, and you know, a lot of people want to give clothes and socks and all that other kind of stuff, but women really do struggle. Can you talk a little bit about your work with the homeless population, and how this helps to ease the pressure of homelessness?
Yeah, absolutely. So we deal with all kinds of different organizations and agencies, and we have done some actual direct street outreach. But I think something that's in particular on my mind recently is we have been in communication with a school in West Philadelphia, and I had an online meeting with them to talk about becoming a partner. And in that conversation, I was talking with their caseworkers, their social workers, and their principal. And what they wanted to do was to actually give their 5th through 8th grade students a bag to take home over the summer this year. Because when the students aren't in school, they don't have access to the school nurse or to their counselors to get supplies if they don't have them. And they wanted to send them home with a bag full of supplies to last them the summer. And I was just asking them general questions about the students, and found out that a huge percentage of their students are feeding into that school from the local homeless shelters. And I think, it's not that I didn't know that that existed, but there's something really breathtaking when I think about a 10 or 11-year-old child living in living in a homeless shelter. But then I think about myself at that age and how scary that time was anyway. And then to not be in your own home to deal with it, and to not know if you're going to have supplies to deal with it. And what we find is so many of these people who are battling housing insecurity at any level is, everybody has a budget and you have to make choices. But for some of us, it's just a choice like, are we going to eat dinner in tonight? Or are we going to eat dinner out tonight? Like, what can we afford to do? And for them, they're choosing, are we going to eat tonight? Or are we going to get a package of pads? Are we going to, am I going to go pay for this bill? Or I'm going to, make sure that I have supplies for the month. And these are choices that women and teens shouldn't have to make. Right. So by donating a package, a huge number of the packs that we're collecting in this campaign are actually going to go to serve these students at school. And the other piece to it is, when we are in school full time, some of these young people are staying home once a month because they don't have supplies and they're embarrassed, and it's not hygienic. So here you have a young person whose future is pivotal upon the education that they get. And we're not only committed to the dignity of it, not only committed to the hygiene of it, but committed to making sure that this stepping stone that they have can get them to the next place that they need to go. And that, it seems so simple, right? It's a pack of pads, but it's a lot. It says a lot to that young person. So.
It's really life changing, because like you said, if they're staying home, then they're missing instructional time. And if they stay home too much, there's a limit on how many days they're allowed to miss from school. Right. So now they become a truancy issue. So they're labeled as all of these things, which really have nothing to do with who they are as learners or even young women. It's just, they can't afford it.
That's right.
So yeah, that's really huge. Now I remember way back when that there used to be a Mardi Gras as well. What happened to Mardi Gras? We not doing Mardi Gras
anymore? we that is how we launched. That's how we kind of officially started, and it's kind of the same time of year. But I think, as Joni mentioned, lately we've just had, and we always still collect all these things all year round, the new bras, and we've actually gotten into new underwear as well, because that's a logical need as, to accompany this. But we just found that the need, when we talk to our organizations that we help and the women we serve, that pads just a greater demand right now. So we kind of just shifted to, we still, we'll probably have a Mardi Gras event and some people still might do their own parties. But March PAD, we even did a St. Patty's Day one year, I think. And it's just sort of a combination of,
yes.
It was like, why should Erin go braless? That was one of the themes, but it was also pads. But really March PAD-ness, I think, well, we're basketball fans, but also it just, we got the need, so we kind of went with that.
Gotcha.
I'll tell you now too, what we found this past year with trying to buy things, it's hard for us to get pads in bulk. It's hard for us to buy, if I go online to walmart.com and try to buy packages of pads, they only let me have 12. So every time I go on there, you get 12. And so what's really cool about having everybody contribute a package or a few packages, whatever they're able to do, it just helps us. We get this volume in, then we can get a volume out. And they're not limiting bras anywhere right now, so I'm able to buy them, but the pads are so pivotal. And we've seen a change in what people are requesting. It used to be more tampons, and we also had, just so your listeners and watchers know, we had a huge donation of tampons about a year ago, pallets of them, which is fantastic. But so we don't need them right now, but we have so many people, who don't want to use those or not comfortable with them. So we need to make sure that each of these individuals that we help has a choice about what they can use.
And I think that for me is that's what did it for me when I was first introduced to you guys. And I put the link to the Amazon wish list, which is exactly what you guys need right now at the bottom of the screen. Right. So if you guys are watching or listening to this, please visit that Amazon wish list. And you can make a direct donation. You don't have to worry about showing up. You can get everything shipped directly to them, so that you don't have to worry about that. Maybe you're busy on Saturday, you're not going to be able to make it. Go to the wish list, dump a bunch of pads in your cart, send them directly there. But I think one of the things that I was so impressed with when I read the article, even more impressed with when I got to like really know you guys and hang out with you guys some, was that this is not just a you get what you get and you don't get upset type of thing. This is a, what do these women need? And we're going to give it to them. And even when we had some conversations about how the name came about, like, it really is for you guys about providing dignity to these women. That's not just like, here you go, you get what you needed, so you can't be picky. It really is about listening to them. I know there have been times when you guys have put out calls for specific sizes, even because there were some ladies who, might be larger women and they might need the pads that are built for us plus size curvy girls, or even with bras that are like larger sizes, and being able to accommodate that. So that's one of the things that I think is really, really phenomenal about you guys, what you guys are doing. Mary says sometimes they are at risk decisions. Yes, absolutely. They definitely do sometimes engage in some risky things to get their needs met. And that's what we don't want. Kim says, has anybody wanted a Diva cup or anything like that? Do you have any need for those?
Sure. So the honest truth is there isn't really much of a demand for that. And I think some of it has to do with it not being as completely mainstream as the other products are. So there's a lack of familiarity. I think another piece to that is in education. So you have to really understand your anatomy to use the Diva cup. And the last obstacle, which is probably the largest obstacle, is having somewhere to clean it and clean yourself. Because it's, something used internally. You have to make sure that your hands are clean. You have to make sure that the cup is clean. You have to have a good place to dispose of things. So I would love to see us go in a direction of reusable products, but I feel like we're not quite there yet. And as we were talking about the choice, so many of these women are at such a difficult time in their lives, perhaps the worst point or close to the worst point. And we just want to make sure they have a product in their hands that they're comfortable using, that's sanitary to use, and that doesn't ask more of them than we're willing to ask of the average person.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a great question, and I would love to be able to be at that level. But until we have better facilities for people and public bathrooms and other things that they can have access to, it's not necessarily the hygienic choice for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, have you seen that the demand for what you guys are doing has increased since the pandemic started, or is it pretty much the same?
I think it has increased. I think what we found in general, I mean, we still have our organizations that we partner with, and thank you for acknowledging our approach to dignity, because we always do try and talk to the organizations and the women that they help and what they need. And we never like to just blindly give product. We always try and match. And we've had to make adjustments even over time with things we've learned. So for example, you have an idea in your mind of homeless women, what they might need. And as we talk, we might find that some of the women are of an age that they don't need those products, or there might be women we help that are dealing with addiction and therefore they don't get their period as often. These are things we've sort of learned. We've talked to women on the street at times, and we found that liners, for example, everybody could use a liner even if they're not menstruating. So we try and kind of match up and follow the need. As far as the pandemic, I think we talked to our partner organizations. Some of them were still, a lot of them were still operating. We're still providing shelter and services. But I think we kind of looked to see, some already might still be getting supplies in from other sources. So we looked, we did some of our distribution in 2020 to even some of the local food pantries, because it seemed like more people were seeking out, were hungry and were seeking out resources from food pantry. So if we got them some supplies, that would alleviate if they were having a hard time financially. So I don't know if we have a specific measurement of if we really looked at the numbers, but I think in general in 2020, that's kind of where we shifted a little bit, where we tried to be as flexible as we could that year, and still currently. But that was kind of probably the impact was kind of hearing from food pantries and other local groups and kind of what they were doing in our area.
There's definitely been, the increase wasn't as great as I expected it to be, but I'll tell you the uptick is coming now.
Okay.
So people are starting to get a little bit back to normal, or a little bit back to this and that, and organizations are starting to dig themselves out and saying, hey, we need this stuff. And so the uptick has actually been in the past, probably since the first of the year.
Okay. You guys know how I feel about distributing dignity. And we actually did, what was it, 2 breakfast events, where we were able to do some really cool things. Haven't done anything in a while. So I wanted to have you guys on here so that folks could hear directly from you about what you're doing, and especially this drive in particular. But I would like to sponsor 100 women for the month of April. So I am going to, we can talk about whether you want the cash donation, whether you want to give me a shopping list. Whatever way would be easier for the two of you, but I want to sponsor 100 women for in honor of Women's History Month, which is what March technically is. I want to sponsor 100 women. So you get me, what you need from me, and that is going to be our gift from Awakening Change, so that we can, make a tangible impact in what's going on.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Somebody was there. Sister Ruth was there at the mansion. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That those days seem so far gone. We got to do something else. I'm thinking maybe, when everything, opens back up again, we got to figure out, I love a good party. So we got to figure out a good way to have a good party. That's so awesome. No, I really believe in this cause, Carolyn. These are 2 women that I know Personally, they have become my friends over the years, and I really believe in this work because all of us are so adjacent to being in these situations that it's almost scary. Like literally most Americans are like one bad week away from finding themselves in need of these types of services. So I realized when I look back, I was like, oh, I haven't really done anything. I kind of got buried under the dissertation pile, and I haven't done anything. So that's going to be the first of many. This dissertation should be done in May, and then after that we'll coordinate and see how we can do some bigger things. But again, the Amazon wish list is at the bottom of the screen. I want all of you guys, please, please, please do me a huge favor and go check out the wish list. I want you to buy a lot of things off of the wish list. You don't even have to go anywhere. You don't have to leave the comfort of your home. And I know everyone has stretched their Amazon muscles over this past year. We've all been pointing, clicking, and getting it delivered. So why not do that for a really, really great cause? We're at the 22-minute mark. Can you guys just kind of go through and share for the folks who actually want to come up, meet you guys and drive through, give them all the details about the March PAD-ness event again?
Sure. So it's going to be this Saturday, the 20th, from 12 noon to 2 p.m. at the Cherry Hill Public Library. And you will literally drive through the parking lot to us to pass along your donation of unopened packages of pads. Important that they are unopened. And please, if you are coming because of tonight, you need to let us know, because we really want to give Dr. Jenkins the feedback she deserves. Right?
Not yet.
Well, we're just getting used to that. We have to keep saying it, so we're used to it, right? So
That's great.
So Saturday, 12 to 2, Cherry Hill Public Library, unopened packages, pads, and it looks like we're going to get some decent weather.
Yeah.
So
and we'll have purple boxes, big purple
big
boxes.
purple boxes for you to chuck your donation into, or you can just
you could place
or
it.
you could just give me like a chest pass, whatever you're comfortable with, and please wear a mask so that we all can stay safe.
And that's, I think that's the other thing too, that I was so impressed with, is the way that when you get ready to give these things out, first of all, you guys already know, we've had this conversation a million times, that purple is my favorite color. So this was like divine intervention. But the way that the packages are packaged, Kim, stop. The way that the packages are put together, they are like presents for the ladies. And I think that that's important for folks to know as well, that it's not just, okay, here's a box, going about your merry way. It literally looks like a gift that anyone would love to receive. And I love your heart for this. I really, truly appreciate the work that you guys do. I don't think I tell you enough how awesome I think you guys are, just for doing this work. And I really, 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 really am glad to help out. So you guys have the information. I dropped it in the chat. 3:20 this Saturday, Cherry Hill Public Library, between 12 noon and 2. Take a picture. If you go, this is going to be my challenge. If you are listening to this right now, if you are part of my Change fam and you go on Saturday, or you make a donation, even if you do it through Amazon, I want a selfie. I want a selfie of you in front of your Amazon cart. So just turn yourself and take the picture. I want a picture of you at the drop off, making your drop off. Post it here on the Facebook, Awakening Change Facebook page. I want to see my Change fam really making a difference, because that's what change is really about. It's not about what we're thinking. It's internal change is great, but we want to be the change. So that is my challenge to my Change fam tonight. Excellent. Yes. Excellent. I want you guys to do excellent as well. Again, Joni and Rebecca, thank you so much, so much for joining me today. I want you guys to hang out in the green room while I just take care of our closing announcements. All right, guys, you got your marching orders. You know what to do. By way of announcement, like I said, Saturday, go check out the event. The Amazon wish list is still up here. Go get some product. Go get something. Make us all proud. Be the change. If you have any comments or questions about tonight's show, or any comments about something that you would like to see us discuss, then visit us at www.awakeningchange.org. If you are on our mailing list, be sure that you check your email. You got a survey, which is worth a chance for $25 in Amazon bucks. That $25 you can use to make a donation to March PAD-ness if you go and you fill out the survey. As always, I really appreciate the time that you guys have taken out of your schedule to be with me today. I don't take it for granted. Please take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Wear a mask. And hopefully I'll see you here next week. Thanks for watching.